Police arrest a Sacred Heart teacher for allegedly having sexual contact with a student. The school sent an email to parents today saying teacher Teddy Page turned herself into authorities. Page worked as a biology teacher at the upper school since August. The school email said Sacred Heart became aware of a concern earlier this week about Page's interactions with a student. School leaders escorted her off campus and fired her and then contacted police. School officials encourage anyone with information about Page to contact authorities, saying they're supporting the student and her family who came forward and providing counseling. Page is set to appear in court tomorrow morning.